Okay, so we have some more Styx drama, Drek slop, but I know you love it. I think it's amusing. So this is where I left off last time. We have a post from Nikki, joined June 26, 2025. I guess around the time she moved in with Styx and, started posting on the forums even though he didn't want her to. So she put her housing at risk to get attention and validation from total strangers because, of course, she did. Putting on blast here more of her poor decision-making skills. So she begins by saying, so it looks like I'm really under Styx's skin. I've been talking to Mel. Why? His new girlfriend, this 35, 36-year-old vegetable that he's now living with in New York. Because I wanted to be her friend. Like you wanted to be my friend. Contacted me out of the clear blue because you like the cut of my jib. Wanted me to interview her. Yeah, fat chance. Imagine the situation that I was put in. What do you mean? Didn't you willingly move in with him? Unless he held a gun to your head, which isn't beyond the realm of possibility, considering this guy's history with women and firearms. Well, I wanted to be the girlfriend of a guy obsessed with another girl. No, you wanted to be the girlfriend of a guy that was famous and well-known and in internet personalities, that you could ride his coattails to your own fame with your crappy content, but nobody watches it, nobody ever did, and you were too lazy to produce any content anyway during this time, so you fumbled an opportunity right there. I thought it best that her and I be friends. Why? Why would that be best? How could that be good for you? Isn't that just wallowing in misery on your part? That's why I am the one who brought up the idea of a polycule. What? Those don't work, Polycules are a total complete waste of time. Why would you want to be in a polycule? Those never work. They're total failures, all right out the gate. Because this is the only thing that would work for Styx. So she's still mooning after this guy whose tooth she knocked out. Since he wants to leave, to have multiple girlfriends and play them off one another. And you still want that, by the way. By the way, you had no problem with that. You were in that situation. Even though you said you'd fallen out of love with Styx, you were still there, banging him, taking your dirty coochie, as you called it. Not me, you called it a dirty coochie. And, setting that dirty coochie on his face, you were more than willing to stick around. And be played off of this Mel and Sam and everybody else. It would be best if the girls were friendly with each other. So she's saying she still wants to be with Styx, man. And not sit on destroying each other. Call me crazy. Yeah, you're crazy. But I think it could work. No, it can't. You're living in La La Land, Delulu Land. Anyway, I digress. So yesterday Styx tweeted this and texted me, oh, he promised to make Indian food for the... What? Styx tweeted you? Well, I don't know. I think you mean you read his tweets. He promised to make Indian food for the 8 months we were together. So what? Who cares? Is your life so empty that you fall apart because somebody didn't make you Indian food? Because one of his favorites, but he never did. Did he actually make it yesterday for her? You mean the mentally challenged girl, Mel? She never answered me. Okay, probably wise. Because she won't answer anything about him. He looked at her phone and saw this and got extremely angry. I wonder how violent he got. Lady, he didn't knock out your teeth. I wonder how violent you got. Probably thrashing about in her car or her hotel room or whatever. Let me elucidate. There's no restraining order against me. Yeah, isn't there no contact order? I don't know. I'm court ordered not to contact Tarl. Aren't you also court ordered not to contact anybody even tangential to him? I don't know. I can speak about him all I want because it's not fair for him to present his side publicly. What do you, life ain't fair, sweetheart. You should have thought about that before you knocked his teeth out. Oh, excuse me, tooth. Without me being able to defend myself. Actually, that is exactly the case. Defend yourself to who, by the way? What do you care what random strangers think? Oh, right. I confirmed this in detail with my attorney. Oh, geez, lady. I doubt that heavily. I think your attorney would tell you to shut up and stop posting online. From his online personality, I never would have thought Tarl to be so litigious. Even while we were officially going out, yeah, he would threaten to sue me for libel. Come on, I wouldn't take that seriously. But he couldn't even think of the word. He would just, well, he's drunk half the time. He would just threaten to sue me over dumb things that I would post on here. He doesn't understand I can post anecdotes about us being together because it's the truth. That just because something's true doesn't mean you should say it, you dummy. I mean, you're a fat pig. Do you like it when people tell you you're a fat pig? Probably not, but it's true. I can't even make videos about our horrific time together. Yeah, but you just said you want to get back with him. You just said you... I messaged his current girlfriend, me as his ex, from my hotel room where I'm living now, because I got booted out after I knocked his tooth out, to see if we could all get together. Translation, to see if I could go to New York and live with him and Mel in Mel's home that her parents are paying for. And she never replied. Yeah. So now I frame our time together as horrific because I couldn't get what I wanted. Gotcha. He doesn't understand the law at all. I don't think you do either. I'm afraid Tarl is ignoring his upcoming legal cases. Why are you afraid of that? He goes to jail. Wouldn't that be a good thing, right? You dislike him. You hate him, right? Your time together was horrific, especially the one where he is representing himself. Jeez. There's no way he isn't going to prison on the 27th for violating probation. I agree. He's going to jail for 6 months. I am prognosticating that because I am the prognosticator of all prognosticators. I am not on probation, but you do have a no-contact order of some kind, right? I am innocent until proven guilty. Well, not in the court of public opinion. I have a no-contact order. Isn't that what I just said? Which I am not violating. And okay. And Tarl is getting his putrid pirate panties in a wad because of my perceived violation of his imaginary restraining order. Okay, so here's the text that got her upset. I was going to make stir fry today, but we ended up getting Chinese takeout, so he didn't even do the Indian food thing. So she's getting upset over nothing. I got angry because for 8 months he said he'd make Indian food, and he never did. And he didn't this day either because he's too lazy. So he just did Chinese takeout. So today will be, oh my God. Oh, okay. This is so stupid. It's just childish crap. And by the way, this chick is 43. And Tarl's response to her talking about him, this is Tarl. Stop speaking with people associated with me and about me violating my restraining order against you. If it happens again, by the way, would Tarl have any kind of no contact order in regards to her? I mean, he didn't knock out her tooth. I don't think it goes both ways. If it happens again, we'll pre-send text to the court and have you jailed. Yeah. I get the feeling Nikki is going to do that all herself on her own. She might see the inside of a jail cell soon as well. I mean, she saw the inside when she got arrested for the tooth thing as well. It's none of your business what I cook, and you're a nutcase. Finally, Tarl's right about something. Do not reply, lose my number, and go away. I would change my number if I were you, Tarl. Just saying. Okay, somebody called her crazy. Correct. Yeah, Styx is crashing out on Twitter. Correct. How does someone with zero net worth and is barely functioning serve papers? Yeah, I don't know. You tell me. He's a man-child. Correct. Yeah. Even better, spurgatory him. Yeah, toss him in the oubliette. Okay. Why don't you and the 2 or 3 other chicks just live together, uplift each other, hold each other accountable, chow box whenever the mood suits you, and ban disgusting Peter Pan pirates from the house? Oh, come on. These types of people, they can't live together. They can't get along. All this would hinder their motives to be doorbats. Yeah. Why shower when these dirty, no self-esteem women will F him anyway? I don't know, because you get tired of your own smell. Despite what people might believe, you do smell yourself, okay? You don't get used to it to the point where you don't. So I don't know how Tarl is tolerating his own odor. They're lined up to do it, undermining each other to be the next one to grind. It is weird. It is weird. Insane Hands also knocked out one of Tard's teeth. I love it. It's astonishing a grown woman doesn't understand this. Dizzy until death. You don't seem to understand that in a romantic relationship where multiple women are vying for a man's attention, it is competitive and adversarial in its nature. Yeah. To even propose it is to decrement? What? I'm not reading any further. If you can't be bothered to type words that are legible, I'm not going to read them. I've been making fun of you a lot since the breakup, but it's from a place of care. I don't think so. I like you as far as one person can like a clearly mentally unwell woman that has a predisposition towards self-destruction. But look at your post since you punched him. You're drifting more and more towards Sam-esque journaling post. Tarl is tarded. We know this. He did you dirty. We know this. Stop going back to it. Why are you texting his new play toy? She's got nothing going on, dude. She works, and then that's it. That's it. But her health is good. She should be finding other things to do. She should get hobbies. I mean, maybe she doesn't have the energy because all the pot she's smoking. I don't know. What do you think you will accomplish? Think back to when everyone here was telling you exactly what was in store for you, and your response was to tell us to shove it, and you're just living life, and your life is awesome. Yeah, not so awesome now. Just be a passive observer. She can't do that. What's going to happen is going to happen. You can't change it, and getting your hands dirty ain't going to do you no favors. Just post fun stuff about Tarl that we don't know about. There is nothing she hasn't posted already. She's run out of material, my friend. He hit terminal velocity a while back, and even he can see he's about to impact. Yeah. As somebody replies, God, well, don't listen to him, Nikki. If you don't say Mel from the Pirate Booze Hound, no one will. Make sure she knows about Kiwi Farms. Yeah. Can't save people from themselves, by the way. Chong Ching. I remember years ago I listened to a segment on the radio where producers were interviewing. I don't care. This reminds me, I don't care. Irrelevant. She might even sit on her face for helping her. What? Oh, Mel. Yeah, she offered to sit on, or have Sam sit on her face. I don't know. These people are all degenerate scum. All degenerate scum, man. Soap more. Dizzy until death. Good point. Sam's been quiet lately. Somebody's placating her. I don't know about that. Maybe she's just busy. Maybe she actually got a job finally. I don't know. Who knows? And we know that when he's with one, he's already working on the next one. You think that he's already found a new broad now that he's with Mel? I guess it's possible. Is he working his way back to Sam now that he's with Mel? Sam has always been the end goal for him. Why? Is it just literally a case of wanting what you can't have? When he's with her, he's trying to break her to fit the mold he wants her in. When he isn't with her, he's trying to keep her on a leash so he can yank it. Well, that's not working too well. She's put him in jail, what, twice now? Thrice? Seems Tarl isn't posting videos. What is this? I'm sure I've known women and men who behave like this. Okay, good for you. I don't care. It's irrelevant. Sekhmet says somebody's replying to something she said. I'm not on probation. I'm innocent. Please be careful. Overconfidence can really F you over. Yeah. And judges can be quite, at completely random intervals. Normally you'd be better off talking about Tarl until your case is resolved. You'd be better off not talking about him, right? I find it hard to believe her lawyer told her it was okay to post on here and talk about him. Sekhmet says, imagine the situation that I was put into. Ghostface killer. He tells it like it is, this guy. No, biatch, you put yourself in this situation, and I don't feel bad for you at all. If anything, laughing at you and your utter failures has been a high point for a good minute now. See, you're living out of a car. I think she's in a hotel. I don't know. Who knows? She probably is in her car. Just saying that she's in a hotel to try and own people who say she's living in her car. And you're still posting here when you lived your value, as I said, and now you reduced to peddling your little give, send, go defund and lashing out at other users as you do so. And you're violating a no contact order by being here. I'm not sure. You're dumb S for brains nasty. C. I have to use all these abbreviations and, all this. I can't, some words I can't say. Why are you here? She needs attention, man. She has no life. Especially now that Tarl is gone, right? There she glows. So what's her deal then? Is she partially deaf or partially cognitively disabled? Based on her speaking pattern, it has to be one or the other. Mel. They're talking about Mel, I think. I have no idea. I think she's just mentally challenged. Certain guys like that. Go watch one of Mel's videos. She's slow, very slow, like JF Gariepi preferred slow, like Tarl slow. Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know who JF Gariepi is, he's a guy who is observedly smarter than Tarl, though maybe not all that smart, who people allege offed his wife. I'm of the opinion that he probably did, but that's just my opinion. Anyway. Ghostface Killer. Pot roast is love. What? I don't know what that means. Okay. Is he working his way back to Sam? I don't know. Okay, let's move on. I want to try and get up to date here on these posts. Stupid effing B. Fake occultism. Styx wants you to know he can't stand the fakers. None of them are in touch with a real demon like he is. This stuff's all made up, by the way. Stolas is not real. I got news for you. The owl demon does not exist. If you didn't already know that. And Santa Claus is also fictional. Go watch one of Mel's videos. She's slow. That's my conclusion. I'm too curious what someone who is supposedly in communication with Mel has to say about it. No. Nikki was not in communication. Mel refused to reply. Imagine that. Public forum doesn't constitute contact. I guess it depends on the terms of the no contact. I'd have to read it. Frozen Styx wants you to know he can't stand the fakers. Any idea who he's talking about? The tarot card rant sounds like he's low. Keep talking about Sam. I guess they're referring to a video Tarl did. I have no idea, so I'm not going to address that. I don't watch his content, so I don't know. Yeah, a public forum doesn't constitute contact. I've seen courts be pretty strict about this. I watch a lot of court footage on YouTube, and oftentimes the judge will emphasize that a no contact order means that no message can get from you to them. Yeah, a public forum could be seen as making contact, as you know they'll read it, so you're trying to skirt the letter of the law by violating the spirit of it, and really you are actually trying to contact them. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, can someone link me back to the page where all the useful documents were? Did we have documents? Yeah, I think I already reviewed those. She's very slow. Tarl did say that JS' wife could take refuge in his parents' home, so that tracks. Really? Tarl said that? I don't think his wife is still alive. I'm going to be honest. JF Gariepi claimed that his wife requested to be taken out into the middle of the woods and released. Like a mountain lion would be released back into the wild. And he's like, I wash my hands of it. My mentally challenged 75 IQ wife, who I've had kids with, but I know is mentally challenged, asked me to take her into the middle of nowhere, and just let her loose. And we haven't heard from her again. Gee, I wonder what happened. I wonder what happened to that chick. Okay. Let's see here. The only thing he struck recently is his tooth on Nikki's fist. Yeah. So people are still roasting him. Good. Let's see what else we got. People talking about nonsense, which is most of this stuff, but it's totally irrelevant nonsense. Imagine LARPing as a wizard to cover up the fact that you have a sexual fetish for period blood and terminal fear of responsibility, commitment, work. Yeah. I thought he was LARPing as a pirate. That's a really weird combination. He LARPs as a lot of things. He LARPs as a pirate. He LARPs as a warlock, witch, wizard, whatever. Does he LARP it? I guess LARP it as an adult. If he tried to be an adult, would that be LARPing? If he tried to live in reality, that would be LARPing as well. He lives in another world of his own creation. Let me see here. I don't know. Let me see. Let's continue. The idea of the polycule, because this is the only thing that would work for Styx. Some ex claim that Styx has to pay rent to his parents. He pays like $800 a month. I'm curious if he had to pay rent to Styx also. So Sekhmet was paying $400 a month. Okay. That's already been talked about. You're out of the loop. I have a feeling that he keeps moving all these females into his parents' house so they can essentially pay him rent. Then he turns the cash over to his parents for his rent money. No, I think she paid the parents directly. Is Styx using females to pay his rent in this way? It's possible, I guess. I doubt it, though. He moved back out as soon as you moved out. Correlation doesn't necessarily equal causation. He also left at the exact time he had to appear in court and get some drug tests. So I think that's probably more the reason. which would leave him there alone. Yeah, I don't think that's why. According to Nikki, the knockout champ, his most recent ex, he pays 800 and she paid 400. Sounds about right. This court dodging N won't do S. Uh, why shower? To prevent sitting around your own filth like a common hobo. He doesn't seem to have a problem with that. Okay? Never go. Well, I wonder what that salute comment was about. Toba salute. He's really gone downhill in the past few years, man. Yeah, it's crazy. His hair's really looking fried like some vagrant. Yeah. This Mel has some really low standards. Really low. Yeah. Domino Pitachi says he calls his hair floofy and credits the mushroom pills he shills. He actually has a sponsor? Oh my God. For his luxuriousness. I kid you not. When he said that, I remember thinking that nobody is going to buy that product if that hair quality is the result. Tarl is really secure in the belief that you can gaslight someone into not trusting their lying eyes. Well, you can, to a certain extent. Depending on their IQ and, biases. Like if he makes a claim that it's automatically true and you need to reevaluate your opinion. Yeah, the old trust me, bro. Just trust me, bro. Okay. Domino Pitachi. Alcoholism and smoking absolutely destroys beauty of any kind. Well, Styx never had any beauty, so it's even worse. He was ugly from the start, both without and within. Styx clearly has done this, so it's funny as S when he boasts about looking youthful. He's 38. He looks like he's my age. He's the same age as my husband and looks 10 years older. He looks like someone's crusty old perverted uncle. It's an apt assessment. Alcoholism and smoking. Yeah. You're double, triple posting, sweetheart. Okay. Surprised that the owner of this website hasn't sent you a private DM telling you to watch it about the double posting or you'll be banned. I gotta save me money on memory. I'm running out of dough. I gotta wonder how this Kiwi Farms makes money. Yeah. Nothing like romancing a simpleton'sburg to confirm that you're a hebephile. I don't even know what that is. Misfits often are, since nobody else would date them. Hebephile is rapidly starting to mean okay. Let's move on. I'm ignoring a lot of posts because they're just totally irrelevant to the subject at hand. The pirate hat is back. He ain't wearing that in public. Not in New York. Somebody will off him. Is he going to be drinking heavily for the next week? If you want my opinion, he is slowly tapering off the booze day by day because if he were to just go cold turkey, he'd probably die from the DTs. And he's too much of a coward to face really, really strong detox, even if it didn't off him. So, yeah, he can't handle the discomfort. He's a super hedonist. He can only handle pleasure, not pain. He has court again on Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, my God. How is he going to attend court in either Louisiana or Vermont? I guess Zoom? I don't know. Speaking of tards. Oh, Stefan Molyneux. Oh, boy. This should be good. So Stefan Molyneux made a stream or a piece of content with Tarl years and years ago, and he seems to be concerned about Tarl. So here's Stefan Molyneux replying to Styx. A notice to my ex who probably stalks my presence online. You're violating a restraining order. You're not allowed to stalk and harass people associated with me. And then Stefan replies, please, God, talk to me before dating again. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, and of course, Mr. Super Simp, Stefan Molyneux, who knows very little about women, is giving this advice. I mean, granted, he isn't a successful marriage, but he's a stay-at-home dad, so I would take what he has to say with a grain of salt. Although you could say he's, brilliant in this regard because he's a stay-at-home dad. He didn't have a real job either, hadn't had a real job in years, and his wife takes care of him. So, he's the ultimate mimbo. Anyway, yeah. Stefan Molyneux chiming in, because, of course. Oh, boy. This thread has it all. I don't know about that. Let's see. All right. Lebunk says, in 7 days' time, the tale of Warwick the Frail will arrive upon a nexus. I see 3 possibilities ahead. Number 1, Mr. Warwick attends the hearing either virtually or in person and faces the music. Number 2, Charles the Tardy ignores the court date and becomes a fugitive. I guess that's a possibility, but I don't see that happening. Number 3, something weird and dramatic happens, like a seizure. He can't play that card twice, man. I don't think he's that stupid. I do not think he can use that again, but I'm sure he'll think of something. I don't know. I think he'll show up. If you would like to vote on which will happen, react. Optimistic for 1, lunacy for 2, and laugh out loud for 3. Shiver Star is getting more and more animated as the days go on, and you can tell from this video the reality of his pending doom is getting to him. Yeah, wasn't he dying? Didn't he say he was going to be dead? Like 2 months ago, he said he'd be dead in a month. Why isn't anybody talking about that? It's crazy. I've obtained the body cam footage. Yes, as have I, and I will discuss that later. It's quite amusing, actually. All right, let's move on. So, Shiver Star, he's getting more and more animated. I don't think Charlie Kirk was associated with Prager. What's that got to do with anything? The generation continues, commensurate with the passage of time, a bona fide foul individual. Yeah. Is he daft? He drank himself into a stupor and then broadcast his thoughts to the world daily for years. And he got paid for it, too. Got paid pretty well. That he squandered the money doesn't negate the fact he got it in the first place. What's really concerning is that people actually gave this guy money. Take the machete off, Turl, and stop messing around. Yeah, there's a folder. I've got it bookmarked. We'll talk about that soon. Soapmore. The machete is the poor man's cutlass. He didn't even have a machete. It was like a 12, 14-inch blade. Doesn't even qualify as a short sword or a machete. If Charles' women weren't forcing him to drink all the time, he'd surely have the money for a real nifty cutlass and scabbard. Yeah, he's in his own home, and he's got like a big giant Bowie knife on his belt. It's really quite cringy. Can you imagine Charles walking down the street in his tricorn hat with a long coat and cutlass? Yes, I can. He does. There's a picture. Look at this. Oh, that's hilarious. So there's Nikki, her feet up in this hovel that they live in. And, of course, they're all wearing heavy coats because the parents are too poor to crank up the heat for the electricity to keep themselves warm on a regular basis. There's Tarly boy with it's like a Bowie knife. It's not a short sword or a cutlass. You people are idiots. You don't know anything about steel or blades. You know nothing. Shut up. That's the internet for you these days. People think they know more than they actually do. Dunning-Kruger. Yeah. Because they have access to Google, but no personal first-hand experience with any of this stuff. He made such a big show of putting his joint out. Yeah. We'll get to it. Who walks around their home in a coat, pirate hat, and a knife on their belt? Tarl. That's who. Tarl. The guy is seriously deranged. He's seriously deranged. Look at that. Look at that pic. Is somebody creating these pictures through AI or something? I don't know. But this stuff is hilarious, man. Yeah, it's pretty sad. Holy crap, those boots. I had those when I thought I was a badass goth girl in middle school. Yeah. He thinks he's a badass goth dude in 2026. Also, note for Charles' next mother, girlfriend, sex slave, punching bag, get him a shock collar on a cage. Let's see what happens. He'd probably like that. Charles, a born follower. Yeah, he tries to be a leader, but he's too much of a wuss, submissive weakling. I had to find a demon to listen to because nothing on this earth was F enough for me to submit to. The cops instantly knew this spineless F was going to do everything they told him to do. Of course. They're perfect for telling the. Okay, let's move on. He's very lucky. Part of the reason he was picked up that day was because of a negligent discharge of a handgun like a year ago. Reported by a protected party in a domestic violence restraining order. Those situations. Yeah, but she didn't report it at the time. Those situations get so volatile, and sometimes both parties get arrested and no one gets bail until a judge takes a look at everything and figures it out. The cops have to assume that they could be walking into a very dangerous situation, especially seeing a 6'3" man dressed as a pirate, armed with a deadly weapon. But if they had seen even 5 minutes of his programming, they would know he's a harmless LARPer. Trust me, these people have watched some of Styx' cringy crap. Yeah. Trust me. What is this? He even throws back his jacket in a very, very girly manner. It's so sad. So sad. Wow. The guy hangs around his house. He wears the pirate hat indoors. I don't know that I would give the pirate hat much credence, though, as a reference to his mental health and his delusion. He may just be wearing it to keep warm. Again, look at Nikki, whose face is blacked out. You can't hide the rest of her, though. She's too big. Big linebacker broad. She's wearing a coat and multiple layers. So, yeah. He could just be trying to keep warm. Who knows? Pretty sure this is Styx's choice of weapon. This cheap garage sale crap. Mole ninja garbage. Yeah. Woo! Break these guys. I never would have pegged Taro for being a worthless tard who buys mole ninja crap. His persona is super serious and mysterious, yeah. The fact that he cheapens his devil-worshipping pirate persona with Hot Topic boots and Timu knives saddens me. Oh, Lord, I love it, man. I love it. The humiliation continues. Yeah, pretty bad. Pretty bad, Taro. It don't look good for you, man. All right, let's see here. Anything else interesting? Nope. Let's move on. Yeah. Okay. Most of these posts are irrelevant, not worth reading, honestly. Okay, so Jack says there's only 2 reasons he would linger on the machete for a second. He's trying to show it off, I think. He knows this video is going to end up on YouTube, so that's what it is. He's posing. He legitimately thought he'd mastered the sword. Oh, my God. Have you seen this guy's forearms? He doesn't know how to use a sword. Okay? He would look very different. Trust me. And could take them before remembering that he wasn't an anime character. Suicide by Cop didn't seem that bad, all things considered. Yeah, he's not going that route. He likes life too much, despite his constant talk of, self, unaliving. Suicide by Cop doesn't seem all that bad. Yeah, but then... Oh, I shouldn't have said that word. I'm not allowed to say that word on YouTube. Jeez, I keep... I'm not very good at self-censoring. Not very good at self-censoring. Unfortunately, no. Paul Revere said, okay, Charles Chaos Magic class is really coming back to bite him. He can't even begin to cast a circle of protection. You're allowed to say bad words here, but not on YouTube. I have to be careful. It's just funny. Okay. Let's see. Nah, there's not much that's interesting here. Not much at all. Nikki's ex profile. Oh, God. Yeah, that's about right. That's likely what she sees all day. Various weird colors in the background. Too much pot. Yeah. This pathetic excuse for a man's not even bothering to hide his gayness anymore. Yeah, he's probably into dudes. I wouldn't be surprised. By at least. Yeah. Oh, wow. Got some more interesting stuff here. Oh, yeah. Somebody talking about Stefan Molyneux. Ghostface Killer. I had a law enforcement buddy of mine tell me that these crack meth Adderall junkies have an affinity for colors, patterns, especially with Sharpie markers. That other picture of her with her Adderall meth eyes kind of sealed the deal to me. Once you know these patterns, it's kind of hard to forget them. Her using meth would also explain her effed up teeth and paragraphs of filler without actually saying anything. I don't think she can afford meth. I think all she can afford is, marijuana, which she's puffing away on, which I don't honestly understand. You can buy the THC in concentrated form for far cheaper than the cannabis plant costs, and you don't have to worry about carcinogens and screwing up your lungs and getting cancer. Anyway, let's move on. Oh, man. Yikes. Yeah. That's her. God. Nikki, I love myself so much, I wish I could clone and then partner with myself. See, I've told you she's a malignant narcissist. You calling her a BPD broad is just far too generic a label. People don't listen. She hopes she could clone herself so she could munch her own carpet. She can both look at what she's doing and look at herself in the eye. Ugh, Jesus. It's probably very accurate, an assessment. Yeah. Jex. A year or two ago, Molyneux came up on my radar, remembering him from years past on YouTube. By the way, he's worth 50 million bucks. Molyneux has mad stacks of cash. He used to solicit bitcoins. He would ask his followers. This was when Bitcoin had virtually no value, was worth a nickel or a dime. He somehow saw the future and that this cryptocurrency would be worth a fortune. And he would ask people to, make donations not in money but in crypto, bitcoins, and his simpy followers acquiesced. And now he's got hundreds and hundreds of bitcoins that he doesn't spend, that he doesn't cash in, saving it for his daughter, apparently, or a rainy day fund. But yeah, he's quite well off. Remembering him from past years on YouTube, I decided to give one of his modern podcast episodes a listen to check in while I was doing some gardening. I often do that. I'll have stuff playing in the background. A viewer phoned in about his failed marriage. It was like a Maoist struggle session. Stefan was sanctimonious and condescending. Well, that's what Stefan does. Concluding that the reason the viewer's marriage failed was because both his parents' first marriages failed, and thus he was fated to F up this first one. Taro going on there would be a spectacle. Wouldn't it, though? Yeah, it's not going to happen, dude. Okay. Taro's not looking for help. Especially not from Stefan Molyneux. Are you kidding? Okay, here we have a fake AI-generated image of Tarl's most recent baddies. Well, not baddies. Isn't baddie a colloquial term for good-looking broads? Okay, so his not baddies. There's Mel in the far right. She doesn't look that good, yo. She's like 200-plus pounds. She's a pig. She's a piggly wiggly. I guess that's Sam in the light purple. She don't look that good either, nor does his ex-wife. The only thing that's about on target is the owl, Stolas. Styx, I will never surrender. Yeah, well, it doesn't matter. You cannot surrender and still lose, pal. Yeah. Yikes. Nikki's, here's a post from her I haven't seen. Try to imagine being so reviled that when one of your girlfriends finally punches you in the face, no one has a lick of sympathy to spare. Well, nobody feels sorry for you either. Well, some people must. They're giving her money. Though I don't know if that's because they feel sorry for her. They're just happy she knocked out one of Tarl's teeth. I don't know. Probably the latter. Okay. Some Kiwi Farms people felting each other, attacking each other. Pretty much the way Kiwi Farms goes. Yeah. A lot of misanthropes there. A lot of misanthropes. Okay. Not much going on here. I don't know. Locust Day. Molyneux has been going off for a year about drinkers and druggies on X, how they're immoral, have damaged their brains. The guy's basically a full-on Puritan at this point. The dude has been like that his entire career, man. I've talked to him a few times, and this guy has a major superiority complex, okay? He also thinks men who don't lift weights. Have you seen this guy? Such as beanpole sticks, can't think rationally or have any self-awareness. In this tweet, he even declares that podcasters who don't lift inevitably turn girly and hysterical. Could just be hyperbole. I don't know. For clicks. He frequently denounces Satanism, as he should. Black magic and demon worship, well, so do I. Bad idea. This tweet would seem to imply this illness is a psychological manifestation of Styx's guilt over being a druggie. It's just a representation of his low IQ and his inability to cope with reality. So he needs to conjure up, imagine, imaginary demonic figures backing him up. Given all of this, why wouldn't he just write Tarl off as a lost cause? Because he would like to get Tarl on his podcast for spews and views, mostly for views, because not too many people watch him these days, ever since he got booted off of YouTube. And it was unfair that happened, by the way. But anyway, why do these people have audiences? Well, Molyneux's a pretty smart guy, believe it or not. He actually is a legit philosopher. He just is a little too holier than thou and sanctimonious for my liking. Listening to some F give advice from his gamer chair's mental disorder. I don't think Molyneux's a gamer. But anyway, I'm so sick of the E-Daddy grifter character. Yeah, well, you and me both. I don't think Molyneux fits into that mold, though. I don't like the guy too much, but that's a misrepresentation. But anyway, let's see here. Anything else interesting? Locust Day. It's actually fascinating how insufferable Molyneux has become. Agreed. I regularly check his Twitter feed for a good dose of cringe. I think something broke in him. It was when he got his YouTube channel demonetized and he lost his whole audience. That was his reason for being. Even though he claimed that it's his kid, his daughter, it was equally his YouTube presence and ability to reach a large audience that also played a big part in his purpose and in turn meaning in life. When he lost that, yeah, it kind of broke him in a way. Once a little of his YouTube audience followed him over to alt platforms after his ban, yeah, he is very, very salty about that. Now the reasonable philosopher mask is off, and the neurotic misanthrope whose entire ideology is based on getting revenge on mommy. Yeah, let's not even go into that. Yeah, he definitely has mommy issues. There's no question about that. All right, let's continue. Ghostface Killer speaking to Sekhmet. Hi, druggie. How's homelessness working out for you? By the way, you should know this guy, Ghostface, has a particular hate for Nikki. I don't know why. Maybe it's just her personality rubs him the wrong way. Are you going through withdrawal since you no longer have a safe place to do your drugs in? How's that job that you've got going? Yeah, we haven't heard about that, how they need her so much. Even though she talked ass about this job, this workplace online on Kiwi Farms continuously and talked about how they'll never fire her. Yeah, we'll see. It's only a matter of time before you're fired. Probably. You and I both know this because you have no impulse control, correct? Imagine if you brought us images of this S-pile bedroom. You would have had a shred bit more credibility. Yeah. It's cold out there for you. Is it cold out there? Do you miss your cardboard box at the foot of his bed? Wow, this guy is really going hard on her. You have the time to stick her to dump. What? Jesus, okay, I can't read that. Guy can't spell. Can't check his. Can you at least edit your content before you post it, pal? I said this before, and I'll say it again. You think you're slick hiding in the cut, but I see you, druggie. Yeah. Oh, man. Hilarious. Hilarious. Dirty Amazon box in the background. Yeah. Oh, that's a... Wow, it's amazing what AI is capable of. Styx X's hammer. I make my own tomato sauce for linguine, stuffed shells, manicotti, etc. Ragu and prego can kiss my... Yeah. Well, he's got nothing else to do. No real job. He at most would be doing 2 hours a day of work on his videos and editing. I mean, let's be honest. Did he edit videos? Were there any cuts in those videos, or was it just him pontificating for 10 minutes, and then you cut the beginning, and you cut the end, and that's it? Yeah, so not much work there. Your little old Italian grandma would probably love me. Yeah, I don't think so. This is hilarious, man. Okay, hemophile. I can't be bothered to look that up. Is it somebody that's like, an expert on herbs or, I don't know. Okay, here we go. Nikki couldn't stay gone. At least this is relevant information. When is the warrant being handed down? She replies, so Tarl has 2 upcoming court dates, and of course she knows what they are, because despite what she has to say about him being out of her life and her being happy about it, she misses him desperately. Not because she liked him all that much, but he was, he was a ticket to fame and relative fortune. I mean, when you live in a cardboard box in an alley or in your car, I guess it don't take much to impress you. And now that he's gone, she has no prospects. Can't stop talking about him. The first is February 27th for his violation of all probation stipulations. So this upcoming week, Friday, will you maybe spend the weekend in the slammer? I don't think so. They want to revoke his probation, which they probably will, and have him serve at least the 6-month term for his original domestic violence charge in New Orleans. So Tarl could be going to jail. He could be ordered to turn himself over. I guess in New Orleans. On the 27th. Okay. Probably be a Zoom call then, since he's currently in New York. Yeah. You must turn yourself in to the jail in New Orleans Monday at the latest. Okay. Yeah. We'll see. March 2nd is the next Vermont date for the new charges. The discharging the firearm where he allegedly pointed a gun at Samantha Keister's head. And she told him to go ahead and pull the trigger. Okay, it would make sense for them to commute his sentence to be served here in Vermont. Yeah. We're not going to take your brilliant legal advice, okay? I don't know that would make sense, and I don't think that's going to happen. I think he'll first serve his time in New Orleans, the 6 months, and then be extradited back to Vermont, to face the gun charges there. I think they're going to throw the book at this guy for the probation violation because he needs to stand trial here for new charges. Well, it's not their problem. I don't know. Yeah, you don't know much. What they do in a situation like this or how easy it is, then why are you commenting on what you think they're going to do? But it is to commute the sentence to a different state. I don't think so, sweetheart. I don't think that's because they don't know what the sentence is going to be. And Vermont might let him off with a slap on the wrist, so they probably don't want that. So they're probably going to say, you got to serve your 6 months, whatever's left on his probation here in New Orleans. It would be funny if they brought federal charges against him. That's not going to happen, okay? Anyway, let's see here. Okay, let's move on. Sekhmet, responsible Revere. Where are you residing now? Do you have assistance still? Are you on a path to an apartment? I'm living in a homeless hotel. That's not a thing, is it? A hotel? There's no such thing as a homeless hotel. It's just a hotel. Maybe she means it's a hotel that gets subsidies from the state. Like all those hotels that are being subsidized for illegal aliens where they can stay for free. Maybe there's some kind of voucher that is paying part of the hotel bill. Because she's an actual American. She's not an illegal, so of course she has to pay. My goal is to get my own apartment. I have secured housing here at a local motel. There's probably a voucher involved where they're taking 30% of my gross salary to pay for. So she mentions they're taking part of her salary. So is what she's paying based on salary? That leads me to believe there's probably a voucher. Because I think she makes $500 a week after taxes. So 30% of her gross would be, so 2,000. Okay, so around 300. That's 30% a month? No, 30% a week? I mean, regardless, it's still 30%. But that's very little. I mean, less than $700 a month? There's got to be a voucher from the state, right? So the amount of the voucher and how much you have to pay depends on your salary. Okay, so there's some assistance going on there because you ain't getting no hotel for $650, $670 a month. That's just not happening. Well, maybe it is. I don't know. I don't know what kind of asshole Rutland is. Maybe you can get a hotel room for that cheap. As far as I'm aware, he did cheat on Liz with Sam. Yeah, correct. Carl has 2 upcoming court dates. Styx, new channel shift will be funny. If there's actually content. I think he's going to be in prison. Kind of hard to post content from jail. Dang girl, score. Now you have 70% of your money left to dodge your car payments and spend on drugs. Yay, look at you go. She has car payments? Doesn't she have an old Nissan Altima or something? I guess you could have car payments on a used car. Reused, whatever they're calling it. I mean, I guess if she doesn't have a residence on record that the creditor can't find her to repossess it. Okay. Edit. Can we have a new poll? Okay, this is interesting. Will Nikki save her money for an apartment? I mean, maybe some that she can't afford to rent because most leases require you to make 2 or 3 times more than the rent, or will she spend her money on drugs? Probably both, right? Okay, let's move on. We're almost to the end. Give me a break here. I like to finish what I start. King George III. All this food talk just seems like a desperate attempt to look like a normal person. Isn't that most of Charles' life until he gave in to his dark desires and urges and vices, like trying to marry that semi-normal broad? And we don't, by the way, people talking about his ex Liz as if she's a normie. We don't know anything about this broad, and except that she tried to be a philosopher at one time and failed utterly and tried to use Tarl to promote her crappy philosophy channel, which nobody watched and nobody cares about, and apparently she doesn't post content to anymore. So we don't know how normal she actually is. She got with Tarl, so that says a lot. But yeah, he spent most of his life trying to look normal. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to fight his demons, so yeah. So it's standard cope of an alcoholic in denial. We know we don't like food when we're drinking. Tarl, yeah, his diet consists of vodka in the morning, afternoon, and evening. It's how alcoholism works. Yeah. Also, laugh out loud, skip leg day. You got chicken legs. Yeah. Just like Stolas. On the food docket, linguine with a nice tomato sauce, Greek pasta. Why don't you eat some meat, pal? You need some protein in your diet, looking at you. Jeez. And anyway, yeah, let's move on. Let us move on. Oh, that's the gay research vlogger? Yeah. That's one of his exes from like a decade ago. Mulatto broad. Mulatto! Interesting. All right, let's move on. Briggs and Stratton at SecMet. Ever thought of getting a real job? I think she has a real job. It's just working at a convenience store. I think $16 an hour. Instead of trying to beg through the internet. Yeah. It's pretty easy to land 2 shifts a day from different companies if you really want to be your strongest, best sell to pay for $600 a month. She's too busy smoking pot for her pain. She has too much pain that she won't tell us about. So I'm guessing it's mental pain. I must buy my pot. I have mental problems that cause me pain. And that alleviates it? I hadn't heard that. I heard it was good for physical pain, but not mental pain. Peach Chorino looks like Tard knows that things aren't going his way on the 27th and March 2nd. He wouldn't be making posts like this if he thought for even a second that he was getting off easy. The court system has become far more onerous and evil than anything fomented by Congress or the executive branch. Yeah, you only say that because you're going to have to suffer the consequences of said system. Anyway. White Christmas. He's love bombing the new Mel chick. That's the broad he's staying with in New York who's mentally challenged. Well, I wouldn't be surprised. By the way, she's out of his league as well. A mentally handicapped broad. She just don't know it. Low self-esteem, low intelligence, doesn't know her own value, I guess. I don't know. But yeah. Of course he would get with somebody like that. Anything else interesting here? Not really. Let's move on. Gotta speed through these. I'm getting tired. Does Styx 666 not realize he has posted enough cooking videos to show he hasn't got a clue in the kitchen? No. This dude, Dunning-Kruger, my friend, Dunning-Kruger. And we'll get to the body cam footage. He's Catholic? I don't think so. He's a Satanist, my friend. Well, LARPing is one, anyway, to seem edgy. No. Let's move on. Can you show us pics of your room? They want Nikki to show pics of where she's staying. She probably doesn't even have a hotel room. I don't know. I mean, actually, who knows? Maybe she does. Yeah, there's lots of social safety nets for people like her, especially in a place like Rutland, I'm sure. Uh, but anyway, let's see. No, no. Let's move on. Okay, we got her again. Yeah. Nikki can't stay silent. Why are you forcefully involving yourself? Says Ghostface Killer. Dude, go back to the timeout chair where you belong. Your innate comments and overall tarded presence bring nothing to this conversation. You don't really either, but, at least you're involved. Now tangentially, but still involved. I am not forcefully involved, and you're a total cluster F of a human being, so it's good content fodder. I'm not forcefully involved myself by informing the public or reminding them of Styx's upcoming court dates. Oh, yeah. Variation of concerned trolling. I'm just letting people know that they need to avoid Turl, as I try to involve myself in his life constantly so he'll take me back and give me somewhere to live again. In fact, I expect to be called in to testify. I can only assume you're especially antagonistic toward me because you're jealous. I got to tap that pickled brain pirate when you wish you had his bubonic barnacle bussy all to yourself. Oh my God. Yeah. She must be high writing this. She goes on to say, I have a full-time job. I believe that. I've worked since I was 15. I don't know that I believe that. Maybe she had, but not consistently. That I don't believe. You worked since you were 15, but on and off. Now I work 40 hours a week at Tennybrook Market. Why are you telling people where you work? Ghostface, tard, schmuck, called me a liar, and live. But sweetheart, all he's doing is trying to get a reaction out of you. That's all these tards on Kiwi Farms do. They have no lives like you, and they want to feel superior to somebody else, and you're giving them exactly what they want, okay? They know they're losers, most of these people. They know they have no lives. They got nothing going on. But you're beneath them one step, or at least they like to feel like you are. And this guy is just needling you to get a response so he can feel superior. Don't give him what he wants. He called me a liar, and a live person came in and verified my employment. Yeah. Now, C-faced, tard, Demon F, Sam is charging me with stalking because I suggested he do the same. Okay. Nobody cares. Ghostface Killer. I work 16 hours a week and make more than you. What's your point, druggie? I mean, I guess that's why you have so much free time to post on here. Not sure I believe what he's saying. I don't know who the F you think you are, but the world of silver living rules will not bend over backwards for you, you junkie. You can BS your simps here. It won't make a difference. You're mighty F big for your britches. Talking S on this site. You're shilling your GSG. Give and go. Drug fund. You're a 40-something-year-old washed-up used hoe pretending that you're 21 or some S. Well, yeah, girl, rebel some more and we get it. Wow. This could be some projection from this guy. But anyway, it's amusing nonetheless. Full-time job, you doxed yourself. Won't be your job for much longer. He's probably right. I don't think this Nikki broad is all that tuned into how reality works to be posting her job on here. As I have said multiple times ago, she has lived her value. She serves no further purpose. Correct. Other than to antagonize and bloviate at this point. Well, she's looking for a new sponsor as well. I think that's partly why she contacted me. But anyway, she has lived her value. She is now worth nothing here. Why you Fs entertain her is beyond measured judgment. They're a bunch of simps. She's a woman. They are programmed to feel sorry for her and want a white knight for her. It's not more complicated than that. Stimulants for effing days. She's not pissing clean, which is why she can't get into proper housing, or she effing refuses UAs. I don't know what that means, but yeah, she is smoking a blunt. These people, wow. Oh, what trash extravaganza is what I need to call this this live stream. Anyway, let's continue. Even that S band that stands for him is getting okay. Styx. Yes, I don't want to read his crap. Nothing of interest there. Leland Sneed. Okay. Let's move on. Deluzin says, people love a redemption arc. That's true. Gives them hope. Makes him think if her life can get better, the disaster that she's in is, and how bad a situation she's in, that their life, which is already foundationally better, can improve even more. He's such a dumb F for not coming clean about it. But to him, the worst thing possible is narcissistic injury. Okay. Boring. Move on. Drop a sack. This guy tried to white knight for her before. Looks like he's run out of patience. People are telling me to quit weed right now when I have no reason to. You have no money. You're trying to save up for an apartment, and you need to save money. What are you talking about? That's reason. This is like when DSB starts ranting about detractors having no self-awareness levels of self-awareness. So you got into a relationship with a man who dresses like a pirate, who lives with his parents in his late 30s, who's an unrepentant drunk in denial. You even thought him having other women was going to work out. Yeah, she's delusional. Yeah. You even wanted to go down on said woman. He worships an owl demon. He's abusive. Well, so is she. He provoked you into hitting him. I don't know about that. Does she need provoking? You're basically homeless. Maybe. She might have a hotel that's being subsidized based on her income, and she has to pay 30% of it, or 30% of that income, and the state pays the rest. I don't know. But anyway, boy, I'd love to get that kind of deal. I pay way more. Oh, man. There's clearly, so do most of you out there, by the way. She still got it easy. She's still not having to face the full consequences of her actions. There's clearly no reason to quit recreational drugs. You're doing everything correct. There's nothing you could do. Yeah. He's being sarcastic, of course. Anyway, let's continue. By the way, good luck with the snowstorm that's coming, Nikki. I'll also be getting blazed in my home. Yeah, but you can probably afford it. You have a home, so yeah, that's a luxury. Smoking blunts is a luxury, yo. I don't know why you'd want to, but that's a luxury. When you got a house, then you can, toke up. People love a redemption arc. Add to this that he's always admitted that he's an alcoholic. Has he? Doesn't he deny it? But he seems to think he can handle it. Yeah, well, he can't, obviously. He's going to jail. Somebody says what happened to his teeth. You need to go back about 50 pages to find out. Okay. Let's move on. Okay. Shiverstar. I'm so proud when a Pay Pig Core fan finally sees they're being manipulated by him. They're being manipulated by Nikki as well. They're just a bunch of simp white knights who don't realize their program. To believe all women and support all women. Yeah. Styx audience has no money, so it's stupid to advertise there. But they also have no motivation. Yeah, the one thing I don't understand about Styx is why doesn't he monetize his channel? I don't get it. It makes no sense. But then again, he's irrational, so it can't make sense. What is this? That's Charles' most recent meal. Looks disgusting. Damn, that place looks as trashy as his parents' house. Well, his new girlfriend is mentally challenged, so, apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Yeah, well, that's not always the case, but it is in this case. Oh, my God. God Mode says, a few months ago, Tarl tried to extract more money from his sponsors by declaring they would need to renegotiate their contracts. I wonder what percentage just said F this and walked away. Turn on monetization, Styx. He acts like he's above that. So stupid. Shiverstar is flipping through a few of his videos yesterday, and he started to talk about the sponsors. I'll have to see who's left in the one-shot diatribe that he does for them. I guess it's better to put the sponsors on a one-off because they have extended watchability. I don't know. I don't think this guy is in a position with his viewer count down to sub 10,000 on a lot of his videos. I don't think he's in the position to renegotiate. Geez, this dude has shot out 7 videos today on his YouTube channel. He's desperate. Well, yeah. Yeah, he's desperate. No kidding. Pete Chirino says, and he's not making a single cent off any of them. Yeah. Thanks to these autistic principles of his. What principle is there by... I don't understand this. I don't understand. Could somebody please explain to me in the comments what principle he's adhering to? that stops him from monetizing his channel. Meanwhile, he's getting paid by sponsors. Isn't it the same? So let me get this straight. He's okay with sponsors paying him to advertise their product, but he's not okay with YouTube paying him to sponsor products by running ads. I mean, isn't it literally the same thing, only with the YouTube monetization? They're acting as a proxy, but it's literally this. I don't understand. It's literally the same thing insofar as sponsors are paying him. It's just when he monetizes his channel, they're paying him through YouTube instead of him directly. Well, what's the principle here that he'd be breaking if he monetized his channel? I don't get it. Not sure how the hell he's staying afloat financially right now. He's not. He's not. But it seems quite likely that Mel's parents are footing the bill. Yeah, of course. Well, they were already paying for her. Okay. I don't believe that her parents live with her. They fund, I think they're well off supposedly, and they pay for her to have her own place, which Styx is living in. But anyway, final page. Thank God. Oh, I'm starting to get mentally tired here. FYI, I asked, oh, here we go. This is interesting. The person is responding to the comment I just responded to, Shiverstar. So for your information, I asked Grok about this and Styx, and Grok said he would have made $15 to $100. That's a huge range, by the way. $15 to $120 just in one day on his new videos. Yeah, he posted 7 of them, based on all the data if he accepted ads. That's passive income, you idiot. Essentially doing the same thing you are now with your sponsors. Well, why don't you turn on monetization? It's pure profit, Al boy. Yeah, well, he doesn't get it. Okay, he's better than you and me, right? He's above that, right? Oh, to be fair, okay, that's about food. Don't care. What is this? Some kind of astrology chart? Oh boy. Yeah, I don't care to read anything about astrology. All right. I feel sorry for Styx. Clearly, he's smarter and more correct about politics than his obsessive nitpicking critics. I would agree, but I think that's past tense. His pickled brain isn't so astute anymore. But the Evans themselves are forecasting his descent further into his own personal hell. Astrology's BS, but that prediction is accurate. You don't need astrology to make that prediction. Sylvia Brown, as big a fraud as she was, could predict his downfall, okay? Oh, White Christmas. You think he's just being punished because of the stars? No, I think he's being punished because of bad choices and lack of impulse control and his own personal demons, probably from his childhood. Have you seen his parents? He at one point was in foster care, so, make of that what you will. He's not smart enough or correct about politics. At one time, he was somewhat. He wouldn't have gotten a following if he wasn't at least somewhat interesting. That said, that's very past tense. He is simply a human aggregator who puts minimal effort into Googling trending topics and doing 3-minute hot takes with minimal effort. That's certainly his recent trend. He's an online shill and LARPer whose IRL personal life is the exact opposite of what he preaches about while panhandling online. Agreed. There's nothing conservative about this guy. How would you know that? You don't know anything about our politics. Dumbass. More, Kiwi Farms drama. These people arguing and attacking each other. It's really all they can do. And all they do online all day. Some very insecure people on the farms. Anyway, Nignog says, I don't deny the mystical. Really? A lot of it's BS, my friend, okay? Don't tell me you believe in magic, like Aleister Crowley magic. Get out of here. Nonsense. I'm starting to suspect that Styx, being the F-up that he is, sold his eternal soul to the wrong fictional owl. Yeah. Give me more comments like that. Okay. There you go. He should have sold that to the Tootsie Pop owl. At least he'd have a lifetime supply of lollipops. I don't know. I don't think that the pacts with demons work out even that well. I mean, if he had a lifetime supply of lollipops, he could at least sell those for a profit. So, yeah. Pacts with demons or with Satan don't actually garner much from what I've seen. But anyway, there you go. We're up to date now on the posts on Kiwi Farms. So that is the latest update on Styx Hexenhammer 666, also known, a.k.a. as Tarl Warwick. The warlock, the wizard, the pirate, all LARP, of course. He LARPs as a lot of things. He tried to LARP as a normal person for a while. Didn't work out for him. So let me know what you think in the comment section of this guy. Is he going to stay free? Is New Orleans going to say, you broke your probation and you left the state that you were in? So, yeah, is him going to New York City a violation of probation? I don't know. It depends on the type of probation. Is he on supervised probation or unsupervised? If he was on supervised probation, that's a breach of his probation right there. If not, then it really doesn't matter that he left the state. But anyway, let me know. You think he's going to go to jail for 6 months or whatever's left on his probation from New Orleans? Do you think that Vermont is going to wait and then charge him with further crimes and also put him in jail for the gun charge after he serves his charges in New Orleans? Do you think the brilliant genius junkie, Nikki, is right and that, New Orleans will let him off the hook and just send him back to Vermont to be charged, prosecuted, and jailed there? Let me know what you think in the comment section. And please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like the raw RP way that I give it to you. My commentary, that is. Give me a thumbs up. Leave a comment. I hear it's good for the algorithm. And on that note, I'm out of here. I am the realist. And I wish you all a good and pleasant day. Take care.